Jimmy Sutter.
People mind their communities.
Mhm.
That's another thing old travel.
Okay, questions? No idea we get this line. Yes, it does. I have an idea. Let's see. Get it snug.
John, I have to run up to the printer. I'm just gonna leave you on the phone.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think you're whatever I can do to get it.
All right, I'm back, John.
All right, we're still messing around here with this cradle point. It's gonna slide right down. What did Andy have it on? Oh, he had it on on the,
Yeah, like different postings.
like the, for the speaker thing.
Yeah,
Um,
which we could get, I could bring it down.
yeah, well, for now, just hold that like that.
John, is it saying that you don't have internet or something? Because it looks like it's working.
No, just low stream signal, something, low stream signal.
Okay.
He knows he has good internet. That's not gonna hold it, is it? How about that?
Yeah, as long as it doesn't tip over. All right, it says I have an excellent stream now. I don't know if putting it out there made the difference or
Well, it's
not.
upright too.
Yeah. And I'm gonna run another speed test. It was at 19 upload before, but it should be stronger now. Yeah, I have a stronger overall signal now. So you have the stream up, Carrie?
Yes, yes.
Okay. We're gonna run the sound check here in a minute.
Okay.
Can you see the camera moving?
Not yet.
Should see it now.
Now the camera is moving, yes. Yep.
All right, we're gonna run the sound check here momentarily.
Okay.
You can see the scoreboard okay?
You mean down at the bottom of the screen?
Yeah, the one I'm putting on there. It says Glendale.
Yes, very clear.
Okay.
I'm gonna change the score.
Can you see the slide that's on there now?
Not yet.
What's the score say?
It hasn't changed yet. Still says 0-0 because of the delay. Now I'm seeing the slide of Homer Center versus Glendale.
You know what? If I'm gonna do that intro with you, I'm gonna have to have a camera up here.
Mark, now I'm seeing HC 18, Glendale 6.
Correct.
Okay, we'll have a sound check here in a second.
Okay.
Check 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3. Checking 1 2 3. 1 2. Check 1 2. 1 2. Check 1 2. Hello, 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 Carrie. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Checking 1 2 3. 1 2. One, two, check. I just shut off the handheld mic, which might have also been picking me up. So I bet it is going to get a little bit better now. 5 4 3 2 1 10 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1.
Sounding good so far. It's good, Mark.
All right, now I'm going to check the radio. Kill that.
Economics professor collapse?
Well, I mean, he's admitting that his $1.9 trillion social spending disguised as COVID has contributed to inflation. So I do subscribe to that part of it. That's exactly right. But basically what happened is that we had a $300 billion hole in the economy, and he tried to ram 1.9 trillion into it. They gave stimulus checks, the most generous child tax credits ever, and he didn't mention these generous unemployment subsidies. And so at the end of the summer, $1 trillion in excess savings. People saved up all that money. The savings rate was through the roof during the pandemic. And so what that means is two things right now. One, people are ready to spend. They've got money. And two, they're less willing to work because they have savings. They're not getting back into the economy. They're sitting on the sidelines because they have all this government money. And so, that's what's causing inflation. That's what's causing the worker shortage. We have 10.4 million unfilled jobs. 51% of small businesses, they can't find workers for job openings, which is
I'm on my headset. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Checking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to plug in the radio.
$1 billion of government spending into the economy. We get this Build Back Better. He's making an argument against his own bill because he's saying the first bill is causing inflation. Joe Manchin's point is, yeah, and the Build Back Better will cause even more inflation.
The worst thing,
So I don't
President.
know
Back
how
to the headset, killing the radio. Checking 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
There's stuff to buy. Now we're seeing a lot of problems. Now we're seeing the shelves bare. Now we're seeing 6.2% inflation. There's stuff to buy, but the value of the dollar has decreased.
Back to the headset. Back to the headset.
Have money, and I'd rather have it, so I'm going to save it. So I think that's fine. I think we can learn from that. In the meantime, what are you doing to solve the problem? There's something about not trying that turns the stomach of the American people and even Democrats and really turns off independence. You have your own agenda, but you're running our country. That's not a good mix. I want to move on and talk about something. Joe Manchin, I think, has shown Democrats the future. He said the country's center-right. I'm center-left. We're not way out to the left. And then you have Eric Adams talking about law and order and sat there and talked about we have to bring...
All right, radio is shut off, and this is headset mic number 1. Headset mic number 1 at 10:41. 10:41, now going to kill the headset. Back to radio.
New York chapter, Hawk Newsom. And if this isn't a threat, I don't know what is, because we know
That's
what happened.
volume
Over
setting 20
450
on the
businesses
radio.
were destroyed, likely more. Some just were out. No
Killing the radio, and I'm going to go back and forth real quick with both.
meeting the anti-crime unit. He says this.
Mic check 1.
How many people do you think back Hawk Newsom's line of thinking?
He hates black people. He's a white supremacist. So is Winston Sears. I mean, this constant refrain of oppression and racism, it's not working. Look at the elections that have taken place in Virginia, in New Jersey. You had Minnesota where they rejected the ending the police department and replacing it with a public safety department. You have New Yorkers who just elected Eric Adams because he doesn't want to defund the police, because he wants to return security on the streets. The Democrats and the left are just driving first of all, this is left on left violence, political violence. This is left on left internecine warfare, and they're eating themselves alive.
Don't you believe, too, if you're a Democratic strategist, and Mark, I don't believe you should apply for that job.
I'd be better than them.
Right, but isn't that the key? If you had a Democratic candidate running against any leading Republican with that message of responsible social spending, because that's something that I don't think it's easy to at least say across, but I care about law and order, and if they actually had a track record to do it, they don't want to, like Joe Manchin does not want to blow up the system, does not want to blow up the filibuster, does not think we should be to go crazy.
All right, I am back on. Radio was set at level volume number 23. Volume number 23. On my headset, checking 1, 2, 3, and I will go back to radio one more time.
And who would be responsive to the people. And then there's the progressive wing of the Democratic Party, which doesn't care about winning elections. I mean, AOC, Ariana Presley, the...
Radio down, my volume on headset back up. Check 1, 2.
All right, you are too loud. Turn yourself down just a little bit.
Now it's going to have to be the radio that goes up then, because my volume I was still clear, right? Just loud?
Yes.
I was.
When you were at 23, you were a little too loud compared to the radio.
Okay, so now I need to take the radio down. right, hopefully this will work. Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Checking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on my headset. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now going to the radio.
Every front, and they know they're willing to lose elections in order to do it because they know we will never repeal what they do. So they get elected, they get power,
Yeah.
they push us down the road to socialism, then they lose temporarily, they cede power to us for a brief time. They don't want to, but they will, and then they come back in power and they pick up where they left off.
Yeah, they're going to
Pushing us down the road to socialism.
If they can grab
Because
the
it's a
House,
one-way ratchet.
they can repurpose some of that money if they grab the House in a year, depending on what they passed. Mark Thiessen, our guest. Mark, I want you to hear John Kerry take this question at the Glasgow Climate Summit that evidently never will end. So he says he's convinced he's got to deal with China, and they're going to together get off coal. None of this is going to happen, but let's pretend it is. Listen to how he handles this question.
How in the several months of meetings behind the scenes with China did you bring up some of those very contentious issues, such as the use of forced labor?
That's not my lane here. That's my job is to be the climate guy.
Not his lane. It's not his lane. Just put a bunch of Muslims into a concentration camp, call it genocide, make them make things like sneakers and solar panels. It's not my problem.
Yeah, the communist deal that they're offering us is this: we'll help you with the weather if you ignore the Uyghurs. That simple. You know that they want us. They know that their hook is that the Biden administration's number one priority.
All right, I'm back on my headset. Checking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The master gain is now set where it normally is at 6. Hoping this isn't totally overmodulated now. Checking 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go to the radio.
Even ignore the Wuhan lab. Because Biden and Kerry, all they care about is climate.
I'm going to try talking over the radio here too.
Idea that the humanity is about to be destroyed, which it's not. And it's a religion for them, and so they're so.
All right, from radio to headset again.
No, but that's all they care about. If they can give
back to radio.
A climate deal, we'll give them a pass on everything else. And the Biden administration is sending a signal that absolutely we'll do that.
All right, so that wasn't a profile in courage, but here is one. Enes Kanter, center with the Boston Celtics. When he's asked that question, this is how he answers. Cut 41.
Nike obviously is the biggest sponsor for NBA. Nike was one of the first company out there was standing with Black Lives Matter. But when it comes to China, Nike remains silent because China is the big boss for Nike. And I mean, obviously they are not